I'm so thankful to have you here today, Senator. I'm wondering first if you have a transgender story. How did you become a transgender ally and supporter?
I've always believed in rights for transgender Americans, but it really hit home in the last few years because there was a transgender boy in my community. And I knew this young man through his entire grade school. I watched when he was in 5th grade, cut his hair short. And then in 6th grade, he dyed his hair blue. In 7th grade, he renamed himself. And in 8th grade, he told our community that he wanted to be identified as a boy. And this was during the time when President Trump was really demeaning transgender people. And he was dismissing them, telling kids couldn't decide what bathrooms they wanted to go into. And as a mother, my fury at our president just grew exponentially because he was demeaning and demonizing this young boy in my own school community. And I couldn't tolerate it because that boy needs protection. He needs to know that he is loved, that he is welcome, that he can identify exactly the way he is meant to identify. And I hate the fact that our president doesn't value him. And so it's one of the reasons why I wanted to run for president, because I am so against the hatred and the vile name calling and the disregard he has for transgender Americans. Look what he's done to the transgender men and women serving in our military. A man who has never served has told men and women that their service is not worthy based on their gender identity. I can't think of a more discriminatory, outrageous statement. And so I've led the charge on standing up for our transgender community members, especially in the military, because I've served on the Armed Services Committee for a decade.
I think that's really great. Now, I've been on a lot of campaign websites this year because there are a lot of campaign websites this year.
We got a lot.
And I have to say, your LGBT agenda is probably one of the number 1 or number 2 most comprehensive.
It's absolutely the number 1 most comprehensive.
It includes transgender people being permitted to use segregated facilities like bathrooms and locker rooms that are appropriate for them. It includes working towards gender-neutral markers on birth certificates.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about why that's important to you.
I want transgender Americans to know that I am their voice, that I will lift up their stories. I will protect them. I will protect transgender kids as if they were my own children. It's who I am. It's what I believe. And I want other Democrats to be put on notice that these are issues they need to lead on to. And that's why we introduced the most comprehensive platform for LGBTQ plus Americans, taking on the issues of healthcare, safety and security, anti-discrimination, banning conversion therapy, allowing an X gender marker for anyone, for birth certificates, for driver's license, really allowing the transgender community and the LGBTQ plus community to know that their voices are being heard and that I will always fight for them.
What can trans kids expect from you to help make their educational experience possible?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to make sure Title IX covers our transgender community and covers our entire LGBTQ plus community. I will use Title IX to enforce protections in every school community across the country.